All right, welcome to the Explainer. You know, the universe, it is just so incredibly, mind-bogglingly vast. So how in the world do we, on this tiny little rock, even begin to make sense of it all? Well, today we're going to dive into the amazing tools and, the people who are actually decoding the cosmos, one incredible discovery at a time.
Okay, so let's just start at square one. What is astronomy really? Well, the American Museum of Natural History has a great definition. It's basically the study of, well, everything in the universe. We're talking planets, stars, galaxies, comets, black holes, the whole shebang. And yeah, as the slide says, it is a big subject. We're dealing with distances and timescales that are just, wow, they're hard to wrap your head around.
And that, right there, is the big question, isn't it? When you're looking at something that massive, something practically infinite, where do you even begin? How do you possibly start exploring all of that?
Well, for the past 30-plus years, a huge part of the answer has been this absolutely magnificent machine. It's really the hero of our story today. I'm talking, of course, about the Hubble Space Telescope. So you might be asking, what's the big deal with Hubble? Why is it so special? Well, it's all about location, location, location. It's orbiting about 300 miles above us, and that means it's floating above our atmosphere. You know, that blurry, wobbly layer that makes stars twinkle? Hubble doesn't have to deal with that. It gets a perfectly clear front row seat to the universe. It's a view that telescopes down here on the ground can only dream of.
And its track record? It is just unbelievable. Just think about this. Since it was launched back in 1990, Hubble has made more than 1.7 million observations of the universe. That's not a typo. 1.7 million.
And all those observations? They've completely changed what we know. They've led to more than 22,000 scientific papers being published. That's thousands upon thousands of new insights into how the universe works, all thanks to this one telescope.
And get this, it's not slowing down. Every single week, Hubble sends back another 150 gigabytes of raw data. It's just this constant flood of cosmic information, constantly pushing the boundaries of our knowledge further and further out.
Now look, we all know Hubble for those absolutely breathtaking images, right? But NASA really nailed it when they said Hubble is far more than pretty pictures. Because yeah, they're gorgeous, but it's the science packed inside those images, the discoveries they let us make. That's what has completely rewritten our cosmic textbooks.
So, let's actually dig into some of those game-changing discoveries. Think of this as Hubble's greatest hits album.
Okay, this right here shows one of Hubble's coolest tricks, its ability to see the invisible. So, take a famous structure like the Pillars of Creation. If you look at it in normal, visible light, the kind our eyes see, it's mostly just dark, dense clouds of gas and dust. You can't see what's going on inside. But when Hubble switches over to its infrared camera, it's like it gets X-ray vision. It cuts right through all that dust and bam! It reveals all these newborn stars that were hiding inside. It's absolutely incredible. And the list of firsts for Hubble, it's staggering. It gave us the first real proof that supermassive black holes are lurking at the center of most galaxies. It was the first to ever detect an atmosphere on a planet outside our solar system. A huge step if you're looking for life, right? And it even made the first detection of water on an exoplanet that's in the habitable zone. You know, that sweet spot where life could potentially exist.
And speaking of those black holes, Hubble really helped us understand that they're not just some kind of cosmic vacuum cleaner, sucking everything up. They're actually these incredible natural laboratories. They're a place where the basic laws of the universe get pushed to their absolute limits. It's where the most extreme physics we can even imagine plays out.
Okay, but this brings up a huge problem. It's kind of a good problem, but still. We have millions of observations, tons of new data coming down every single week. How can the professional astronomers, and there aren't that many of them really, how can they possibly look at everything? The short answer is they can't. It is just way too much data for them to handle.
And the answer is, they don't have to. Not anymore. See, this is where our story takes a really cool turn, because it leads to a whole new way of doing science, a way that involves you.
You know that classic picture of an astronomer, right? Some person all alone in a cold dome, peering through a giant telescope and sketching what they see? Well, that's the then. Astronomy now is a totally different ballgame. Today, it's all about massive worldwide teams of people digging through gigantic piles of data from robotic telescopes like Hubble. And here's the most important takeaway from all this. The age of discovery isn't over. Not by a long shot. In fact, it's just getting bigger. And the best part? There's now a role for pretty much everyone. So, welcome to the awesome world of citizen science.
There are these amazing websites like Zooniverse that let literally anyone jump in and be a researcher. You could become a redshift wrangler, helping us look back in time to the early universe. Or maybe you want to go cloud spotting on Mars and look for weather patterns. You could be a comet catcher or search for asteroids around dead stars. And this isn't just for fun. This is real science. People, citizen scientists, make huge discoveries. There's a famous story of a Dutch schoolteacher who was just clicking through galaxy images and found a totally bizarre new kind of object that no professional had ever seen. It's now named after her. So what this all boils down to is that discovery isn't for the lone genius anymore. It's a team sport. And it turns out that the combined power of thousands of curious people, just like you, can spot patterns and notice weird things in the data that even our smartest computers would miss. The human eye is still an amazing tool.
Look, Hubble and these other incredible observatories are sending down a tidal wave of data every single day, packed with new mysteries just waiting to be solved. That data is out there, right now, for anyone to look at. So, really, there's only one question left to ask. What are you going to discover?